taking over. Second quarter, Warriors up 7, make it 10. Danny Fortson with a layup and the foul. Anton Jameson doing his share to give Golden State a win. Nice laying right there. He got the foul as well. Golden State were up big and they would hold on to win this game. Check out the play by Larry Hughes. Alley-oop. Great finish from Jason Richardson. The Warriors win by 9.
At least she left smiling. Off the turnover, he goes in for the easiest 2 in basketball. Robinson plays a little 2-man game with Sam Cassell and then steps back for the 3-pointer. The Bucks are 6-0 this season when scoring over 100.
Canada meet on the court for the first time. We'll tell you who came out on top. Stars tried to take his place as basketball's most exciting player. Vince Carter was one of them. Like Jordan, he came from North Carolina University, and like Jordan also, he could defy gravity. Now that Jordan is back, the two faced off for the very first time on Sunday. So who would come out on top? It's Carter, who had a great first half. 23 points in the opening 2 quarters. Misses the first shot on Jordan, but then gets the rebound. The Raptors were up at the half. Third quarter, though, Jordan heats up. Drives and scores on the fadeaway jumper. He had 21 points for the game. Fourth quarter, good defense from the Wizards. Michael Jordan with the pressure, and he held Carter scoreless in the second half. And guess what? The Wizards have now won 6 straight. Just unstoppable on the night. Starting in the first half, working on Joe Johnson and the layup there. Iverson with more here. Goes the length of the floor, then dribbles right down the lane, beats about 3 defenders and hits the shot. And then check out this one. He's fouled and then that prayer almost falls. He beats Joe Johnson to the rack here for the reverse layup. 24 points at the half for him. Third quarter, Aaron McKee gets hot. Head fake and the jumper. Then another head fake. They're falling for that all night. Hits another jumper. He scored 13 of the Sixers' 22 third quarter points. More Iverson on the break. Nails the 3-pointer. He had 37 points as the Sixers won it by 16. Hill will need surgery Wednesday on his troublesome left ankle. It'll be his 3rd surgery on the ankle in the last 20 months. He will not play for the Magic again this season.
Well, he's obviously very disappointed.
Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves hosted the Dallas Mavericks first quarter. Wang Zhizhu tries to drive, but Garnett swats his shot away. In the second, Anthony Peeler with a steal, takes it the other way and gets the dunk. The T-Wolves led by as many as 22 points, but watch out, here come the Mavs. Dirk Nowitzki drives and finds a slashing Eduardo Nahira for the slam. He's been getting more playing time and doing well with it. Michael Finley drives and dunks over Joe Smith. And then Tim Hardaway nails the 3 over Kevin Garnett. And Dallas comes back to win it by 5.
Playman for the game against the Houston Rockets, who've lost their last 14. Optimist, Shaq cleaning up with the rebound and the dunk. 53-49 Lakers in the second. Into the third, Rockets in transition. Moochie Norris dishing to Eddie Griffin for the reverse slam. Griffin had 25 points. Later in the third, Kobe Bryant heating things up for the Lakers. Flying in for the slam. Then off the row at Ori miss. Kobe there for the follow-up. He had a game-high 27 points. The Lakers looked to be in control. Houston hit back only for the Lakers to stretch away and win again in the fourth. Derek Fisher draining the 3. 23 points for him on the night. A 6-point Lakers win. Now, the Grizzlies had never won at Madison Square Garden, but were intent on changing that trend on Thursday night. They were tied at 85 apiece with the New York Knicks when Jason Williams knocked down the 3. The Knicks level it again, only for Shane Battier to work himself free and sink the wide-open jumper. 90-88 Memphis.
Shane Battier.
One last chance for the Knicks.
9.8 of a second to go.
Marcus Camby missed one. And again, the tapping wouldn't go, nor Jackson's jumper. The Grizzlies hung on for their first win in 6 attempts in New York.
Wizards were looking for their 8th straight NBA triumph on Friday in Orlando. Richard Hamilton got it going early. 4 for 5 from the field early on, but trouble later in the first. He collides with Mike Miller and limps off the court with a groin injury. Hamilton did not return. Bad news for a player who's averaged 20-plus points per game. Michael Jordan fed Hubert Davis for the drive and the runner. Davis led the Wizards with 19. Jordan finished with a dozen and 8 assists as Washington made Doc Rivers' Magic their 8th straight victim.
Mark Viviano reports on Washington's Jordan-led turnaround.
He's great. Well, I mean, he's 38 years old. He sat out 3 years. How many guys in a professional sport could sit out 3 years and come back at 38 and play like he's playing? There's nobody.
Michael Jordan may be the only man who could play so well after such a long layoff. And 2 months into his comeback, the consensus is Jordan is playing great, even though he's playing differently than he did 3 years ago.
What he uses this year is his experience, and everyone knows he doesn't have his legs like he used to, but he definitely uses his head more, and he's smart out there and he knows what he's doing.
He just doesn't have the lift that he used to have, but still the same competitiveness, still a great player.
I don't think he's as athletic as he was. I don't think he has the endurance that he used to have, but he's still very, very good.
Just a few weeks ago, Jordan might have wondered, what was I thinking, as the Wizards lost 9 of their first 11 games. Jordan scored 30 or more points in 6 of his first 10 games, but his teammates were seemingly spending more time watching him than helping him. And Jordan's own assessment of the situation? We stink.
My biggest concern was if we got off to a slow start, would the guys fall back into that, oh, here we go again kind of thing. I think the presence of Michael wouldn't allow that to happen.
Since Jordan's November 27th criticism of his team, the Wizards have learned that less Michael can actually mean more victories. Jordan has adapted his game from trying to dominate to trying to distribute, making himself more effective and forcing his teammates to share the burden.
We've been playing pretty good. I think the effort's been good and the results have been better. I just wondered, I was waiting for this time to come where the guys step up and fulfill their roles.
Some of these young guys have said, okay, you know what, we're tired of losing, or we want to win and we don't want to embarrass ourselves. That's been a big part of this as well.
Among the players stepping up their game, third-year guard Richard Hamilton, Washington's most talented player not named Michael. Now more often than not, Hamilton will lead Washington in scoring, having learned how to work alongside a legend.
We're starting to get a lot of success between the two of us. I think all the education I've been trying to pass on the rep, he's starting to understand.
He had to learn how to play with Michael, and he's done that. They put him on the bench for a couple of games. I think that opened his eyes. He came back in. He's been phenomenal. He's played defense. He's addressed the weak points of his game. He's rebounded. That's made a huge difference.
The degree of success Jordan and the Wizards have the rest of the season now rides on how much the other young Wizards can also make a difference. But so far, Michael Part 3 has at least succeeded in elevating expectations. I'm Mark Viviano.
Johnson beats the third quarter buzzer with the little veteran hook shot. Less than a minute to go in the game. Joe Smith will hit a big shot here. Top of the key. Wolves by 1. Minnesota would make a couple free throws, take the lead by 3, and then one last chance for Nick Van Exel. The leaner for 3, a little bit short. 94-91, the T-Wolves, a winner in Denver. Let's get the latest. Canadian guard Steve Nash with the game winner, a clutch three-pointer with just 0.6 of a second remaining in overtime. The Mavs have a 7-game tear. Nash and company winning in San Antonio despite 53 points by Tim Duncan. And with that, we say
would lead by a point after the third quarter. And in the fourth, the Hornets nudge further ahead. David Wesley rimming out here. But Jamal McGlaw is there with a putback slam. Charlotte by 8. And they continue to pile it on. Baron Davis here driving the basket, drawing the foul, and sinking the bucket as part of a 15-point haul in the 99-93 Hornets victory that ended a great Washington run. Elsewhere, where the San Antonio Spurs played host to the Dallas Mavericks, the Spurs drawing blood here in the fourth as Terry Porter drains the game-tying 3. And the game would be just as tight in overtime when Tim Duncan put the cap on a 53-point tally that's the best in the league this season, first with that fadeaway and then with a lane that tied it up again. And the outcome wouldn't be sealed until the last second when Steve Nash sank the last of his 27 points with a dramatic free ball to clinch a 126-123 Dallas victory.
As the Mavericks sought their 11th straight win. Dirk Nowitzki, the German, spinning, hitting, and drawing the foul. He led everyone with 30. Dallas up 1 at the break. Mark Jackson
Nowitzki with a save
up top,
by Jackson.
and there's Latrell Sprewell. Jackson playing a little defense, and then finding Spree, who dunks again. Knicks within 1. Now to crunch time. Fourth quarter, Allen Houston.
They won Houston this time.
Working over, Tim Hardaway for the jumper. It's tied at 92. Still tied. Clock winding down. Houston drives. Misses. Mavs will get the last shot. They could have called a timeout. Didn't set anything up, and they go to Greg Buckner. No. They go to overtime, and New York would score the first 7 points and never look back. Spree hitting the long jumper. Jackson with a season-high 17 assists. Marcus Camby leading the Knicks with 26, and they win by 7 to stop the Mavs' win streak. Elsewhere, a Cole hustles back to make a patented defensive stop. He pinned Ron Mercer's layup against the glass at 38 years old. Washington wins as MJ becomes the 4th player to score 30,000 points.
It doesn't matter, just get to the point and move on. Everyone knows I was going to at least get 15 points, so it didn't matter if it was going to come from a jump shot or free throws. 30,000 points is a lot, that was more or less the highlight of the game. But, anytime you can beat your former.
Chicago's run on test. The Bulls were off and running. Ron Mercer tried to make the layup, but Jordan was there and having none of it. The Jordan block and steal in a Washington win is our play of the day.
On Saturday night, and what a game it was. Spurs up early. The floater by Tim Duncan and the foul. They were up 11. Fourth quarter, the Mavs come back. Tim Hardaway with a big 3, and it's a 2-point game. Under 20 seconds left in the game. The Mavs get the big steal, and then Dirk Nowitzki misses the first tap, gets the second. We're tied at 103 after Terry Porter made 2 free throws. Dallas have a chance to tie or to win it. It's Steve Nash with a long jumper, but it comes off the iron. San Antonio Spurs get a dramatic 2-point win.